guys, today I finally want to film a video that I have wanted to film for so long. Basically, I want to share my story with you guys, or as like Christians would call it, my testimony. I feel like I have shared bits and pieces of my story with you guys throughout the 2 years that I've been here on YouTube, just like talking a little bit about my anxiety, a little bit about long distance, a little bit about my relationship with God, just in like different videos. But I just wanted to kind of compile it all into one video and share my story with you guys. I guess I'm just gonna start from the beginning. I was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I have a mom, a dad, and a sister, and I have the best family ever. My mom and dad love each other so much, and I'm just super blessed in that aspect of my life, because I know a lot of people don't have parents to look up to for like an example of love, and I feel like I was really blessed with that. So I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana until I was in 5th grade, and Hurricane Katrina hit, and my dad, his job actually moved to Florida. So in 6th grade, I moved to Florida, and the summer of 5th grade, I went to a camp called Pine Cove for the first time with some of my friends from Louisiana. And I think that was the first like big monumental spiritual step in my life, because I had grown up in the church, I'd heard about Jesus, and I always considered myself to believe in that and be a Christian. But at that summer camp, I decided to dedicate my life to God and following God. And so that's kind of like the first pivotal moment between like me and my relationship with God. But I look back at that and I think it was probably hard as a 5th grader to really understand all of like the ins and outs of being a Christian and following Jesus. So I think that my heart was in the right place, but I don't think I fully understood. So then moving on to middle school, I feel like that's when a lot of emotional battles started for me, because I had always been very outgoing. I had so many great friends surrounding me when I lived in Louisiana. And when I moved to Florida, I didn't have that. And I think that's why I became very introverted and shy. I don't know, I don't have the fondest memories of middle school, but I also don't think anything like huge happened in my life throughout middle school. My walk with Jesus was just kind of like worshiping in chapel, and I didn't really think anything else of it. But then in high school, that's when things really started to get harder, I guess you could say. I don't want to say anything specific, because like I don't want to like say anything bad about people in my life, you know, because like there's still people out living in the world. So basically I had relationships that were not healthy in my life. I also was going through a lot of stuff because my sophomore year of high school, my sister and her husband moved to Copenhagen, Denmark, which was like the saddest thing of my life, because my sister is my best friend, and that was just really hard. And for the first time in my life, a lot of people in my family passed away, which was very strange, because usually when you lose a family member, it's like one person, and then like it'll wait a long time until the next person passes away. But in our family, like in a 1.5 year period, we lost 4 of our family members. So 2 of my uncles, my granddad, and my grandmother all passed away in like a very short period of time. I just kind of suppressed everything. I remember just like never even crying, because I was just like so like just trying to stay strong for my family, trying to just stay strong for myself, and I just kind of didn't process anything. And that's when I started developing really, really bad anxiety. I know anxiety kind of manifests itself in different ways in everybody, and the way it manifested in me was it really affected my sleep. So I remember it was my sophomore year in high school, and one night I just couldn't fall asleep, and it was the strangest thing. And I remember looking at the clock, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was wide awake, and I started feeling like panicky. I was like, why the heck am I not sleeping? And it started making me really nervous, and that was the first night that I just didn't sleep at all throughout the whole night. And I was like, well, that's so weird. And then the next day I was like anxious about sleeping again, like the next night. And so I was thinking about that all day. I was like, I hope I can fall asleep tonight. That was so weird. And then from there on, it just got worse and worse. And I just started developing really bad anxiety. And it's so weird to even like say, because it sounds just strange, but my anxiety stemmed from like my nervousness to sleep at night. So I would be thinking about that all day. It would just make me not present in real life, like during the day, because I would just be so in my head and also so exhausted. Then my mom suggested that I start going to therapy to kind of like talk through what was going on with somebody. So I went to a Christian counselor. She was so great. I love therapy, and like I highly recommend therapy for anybody. I don't go to therapy anymore, but I would love to start going again, because I just feel like it's nice to have someone who has like a third-party opinion about your life that can just like help you through things. But anyway, that helped. Like, it helped me process my emotions, and it kind of helped me understand why I had developed this anxiety, because like I wasn't talking about anything to people. Like, I wasn't getting out my sadness. Like, it was just all brewing inside my heart. I think I did therapy for about it must have been like 2.5 years. And then I was about to have to go to college, and I got accepted to my dream college, Florida State University, and I was getting so nervous because I was like, I can't go to college like this. Like, I'm not gonna be able to function. Like, I'm just too much of like, I'm just too nervous, and I hate being away from home, and like, how am I just gonna get up and move away? And so one night I was just like, I was having a very horrible night. I remember I was having a panic attack. I was laying in bed by myself, like hyperventilating, and I was just so sad, because I was like, that was kind of the moment where I thought, I'm not gonna be able to go to college. Like, I'm just gonna have to go to like a college around here where I live and just live at home. I remember at that time in my life, God wasn't really like a priority to me. Like, it was a priority, but it was more like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, like I love God, I believe in God, but it wasn't like I had a really deep, every single day relationship with God. But in that moment, God touched my heart so much, and I remember getting on my knees on the ground and praying to God. I said, God, please, I give you all my anxiety, I give you my insomnia, I give you all of these stresses and problems, and I just want you to have them, take them from me, and I just want you to have all of the control in my life. I'm done trying to control things myself. I give it to you. And I just remember feeling such a huge weight off my shoulders, and I just remember, I'm gonna cry again. I just remember so vividly feeling God tell me, it's gonna be okay, I'm taking care of you, you're gonna go to college, you're gonna be fine, and just trust me. So this is a miracle, and I've shared this on YouTube before, and I've gotten comments saying, that's not true, like that's impossible, whatever. I don't care if you think it's impossible, because I know what happened. And at that moment in that night, God took away my insomnia, and he took away my anxiety. And that was really the first time I had really given my whole everything to God. I went to college and everything was great, and God really gave me the courage to just really pursue people and just say, will you be my friend? Like, you seem really nice. I went on this campus ministry beach retreat, and that's where I met my 3 best friends, Shannon, Abigail, and Alexis. That was actually the first time I ever had friends that were really intentional about having a really deep relationship and talking about God and encouraging each other. And they were the first people to ever ask me, like, what's your story? Like, tell us, like, your walk with God. And, like, it was just so weird, because I was like, no one's ever asked me that before. And it was just the best thing ever to have friends that were true friends. I really just felt like I had renewed my faith. So I was just like, I wanted to learn everything. I wanted to talk about God all the time. And I actually met Marcus's sister Shelby at a Bible study. I was, no joke, a part of like 5 Bible studies. So Shelby was at one of them, and she wanted to introduce me to Marcus, and you guys already know this story, but that's how I met Marcus. And so I guess you could say Marcus was like the next chapter in my life, because I feel like there is a pattern throughout my story of God really just like taking me out of my comfort zone and saying, it's gonna be okay, this is what I want for you, and it always turns out for the best, but I'm always like a little bit nervous. God brought me Marcus, and I'm so happy. And Marcus was like nobody I had ever met before. Marcus just lived and still lives to take me out of my comfort zone, encourage me to do things that I would never do. And so we started dating, and about 6 months into it, he told me he was moving to Los Angeles and that we would have to be doing long distance. If you guys want a whole video about long distance, I can definitely do that for you. But that was so hard, and I was just really having to rely on God that whole time because, wow, very hard to be in a relationship long distance for 2.5 years. And about a year into me and Marcus dating, he wanted me to start doing YouTube. So I did my first video with him. It was a Q&A video, and I did not want to do it. I was throwing such a fit. I was like, please, I do not want to be on camera. I was so shy literally ever since middle school. I had stayed shy that entire time, and he was like, no, Kristin, please, I really want everyone to know who you are. And then after that video on his channel, it took me about 4 months to start my own channel. It took him buying me a camera, teaching me how to edit, all of this stuff, encouraging me every day to do it, and I finally started doing it. Now I've been doing YouTube for almost 2 years, I think, and it's just crazy, and I get really like, I don't know, I just get really thankful for you guys because I don't want to cry again. Really thankful to you guys because I never thought anyone would care about what I had to say, because like, I don't know, you just like never think, oh yeah, everyone's gonna want to listen to my videos. Like, at least I did not think that. And the fact that I have over 400,000 people that clicked subscribe because they want to hear what I have to say is like, that's amazing. And I owe a lot to you guys because, sorry, I have that cry in my throat. I gotta swallow it down. Even if you just subscribed like an hour ago, still, like, your support means everything to me, and I just never want to take you guys for granted because you guys have actually had like a humongous impact on like who I actually am, not just like where I am in my career or anything like that, but like who I am as a person. Okay, so now I'll stop being cheesy and go on with my story. Me and Marcus got engaged in June, and then I was graduating that December, and then we were getting married in February. So I guess that kind of brings me to where I'm at right now, and just being able to talk to the camera and tell you guys my story and my kind of like my testimony with God and everything like that. It just kind of makes me look back at everything and just see how amazing God is at creating your perfect story, even out of things that you think are horrible. And so I just really want to encourage you guys, if you're in a place in life where you just feel like, why am I here right now? I don't feel a purpose. I don't feel like this is part of God's plan. I would just say, just wait a year or however long God has planned, and you'll be able to look back at your life and be like, wow, there was a purpose for that time in my life, because I can look back at every horrible and amazing moment and see how that has shaped exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. So that is my story up until now. Maybe next year I'll have some more things to add to it. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I would love to hear some of your stories if you want to share them with me down below. And it takes like a lot for me to sit down and do these like really vulnerable type of videos, but after I do them, I'm always really happy that I shared more of my heart with you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.